Hello world! Today I want to talk to you about steps you can take to build a brand new you. Now my first question is always going to be, what's wrong with the old you? And like many of us, the list is too long to write. Okay, so maybe you're not happy with your life. If that's the case, I want you to sit down and write 3 things you'd like to change about your life. These 3 changes need to address any internal issues you may have, any emotional or coping mechanisms that you want to deal with. For example, I have 3 of the most common changes that people seem to want to address. Number 1, many people want to have a closer relationship with God. Number 2, many want to learn how to deal with stress better. And number 3, many people want to be more patient with their children. Now, number 1, if you want to be closer to God, maybe you should take the time every day to say a prayer. Start by letting God know what you are thankful for. Thank Him for your many blessings. As you begin to talk to God more, you will begin to see that you can have a closer relationship and what you desire is not so far away. Your daily prayers will place you and your spirit closer and closer to God. Number 2, let's just say you want to deal with stress better. Imagine that your daily prayer could really help with that. But life is very stressful at times, especially with work and home, bills, rude people. This is when I use what I call positive affirmations. This is my own voice reminding me of stress-relieving thoughts. For example, one of my pet peeves is standing in a long line or even a short one that is really slow. I can tend to become a little impatient and temperamental. First, I have to think to myself, well, I know that I'm not the only one here who has some place to go and somewhere to be. So I really have to check myself in that I am not the only person here. The world does not revolve around me. And I try to go inside my head and, pick a favorite song and listen to it inside my head. It might sound corny, but it really works. Music, even if it's just imagined, can really cure the savage beast. In other words, you've got to have a ready, preconceived, go-to plan for when stressful moments creep up on you. Create something that works for you, and when you are in a stressful zone, use this technique when the situation arises. Number 3, let's just say that you want to have more patience with your kids. In the midst of the chaos, the noise, the spills, and all the fights, try to remember that these little boogers are really blessings from God, even though they may not resemble it at that particular moment. And they are present in your life to receive guidance, nurturing, and parenting as much as you can give. The best way to deal with chaos is to combat it with peace. If you establish at an early age in your household a non-yelling or screaming form of communication, then the kids will know in order to be heard they must speak in a civil tone. They must use their words, not fists or tantrums, to express themselves. I would purposely speak barely above a whisper just to get them to understand that that's the way, if you want mom and dad to hear you, is to speak calmly the same way. Also, remember structure, rules, incentives, and rewards are good for behavior, good behavior, not bad behavior. And it all helps to reduce chaos in the home. Use demonstrative affection in your home with your children. Something just as simple as a hug can diffuse a situation with your children before it ever happens. School for some children is very stressful, so greeting them at the door with hugs and kisses can relieve a lot of tension that otherwise could build into something negative later on in the evening. Now let's go back to the suggestions towards building a brand new you, starting with the 3 changes that you want to make. Here are the examples that I have given. Now write down your own and make sure to focus on internal issues, because changing how you think, process, and cope with life is really the key to reaching your goals. We must first work on the internal before we can change the external. So if one of your issues is really reducing your weight, you must first work on your self-esteem and your self-confidence. Once you feel better about yourself, your methods for losing weight and keeping it off will be effortless. Working towards your goals for a lifestyle change will bring you closer to the new you that you desire. And always remember that you are a shining bright beam of light, a beacon of hope to others, and God's most special gift to the world.